Alright, looks like we're waiting on just a couple more drivers, but to those of us that are... Actually, let me check if there's anyone on the stream, because that'd be a bit awkward if there was no one on the stream and I was talking to nobody. But, yeah, it does look like that there's nobody watching, so we'll wait. We shall wait. Alright, if there's any racers in the stream... Actually, it does look like that people are starting to get ready right now, so that is good. I think we have our grid, and yeah, looks like the session is going to get underway in 20 seconds time. This is our season finale for season 5 of VRL. Obviously the F2 race this afternoon, or tonight, I suppose, if you're watching Europe, and then tomorrow morning for me. Unfortunately, I won't be able to commentate the F1 race tomorrow, but we have our F1 season finale. Sorry. I believe both drivers' championships are wrapped up, but the constructors' championship is still very much up for grabs. Let me just pull that information up for you now. So obviously, Karem is P1 and year drivers champion. He's gonna look to score over 200 points this season, which would be a fantastic tally in a 14 race season. Alex Bomberg in P2 with 118 points. Virus is gonna have to he's gonna have to score a net 5 points to jump Alex Bomberg in the standings. And then Wakanda is, I believe, mathematically eliminated from contention for P2. Midfield is ridiculously tight. P9 to P7 are all separated by a point. We have Pepin and MK both tied on 52 points in P8 and P9, and then Xavi Mateos on 53 points. Kimi could potentially jump Wakanda if he scores a net 5 points on him. So if he scores 5 points more than Wakanda scores in this place, he will inherit P4. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Racing Point needs to score 14 points, and they will win the Constructors' standing. They were currently 31 points clear of Renault. Red Bull was in that second spot for a long time, but Red Bull has kind of found themselves slipped down the order. Not the best results in the recent races, so it looks like we will have a Red Bull of Iquix coming out first. Iquix does have a qualifying ban, so he's going to start from P16, well, whatever the last position on the grid is. Let me just pull all of that up. But but he will just get some laps in. I assume just to get some laps under his belt. I know drivers that I've had. Actually, don't know if iQuicks is supposed to be on the track right now, because if there was like an engine component swap in real life, they would obviously put laps in just to kind of get the best qualifying position. But I don't know. A newcomer to Vrl F2, we have Brady Pollock racing in the AlphaTauri today in replacement for, who would it be? Who's the other? The name is escaping me for some reason. Looks like I'll have to pull up the info on that. He is replacing Peter Hank. How could I forget Peter Hank? So it will be Brady Pollock behind the wheel of the AlphaTauri. Nick in the Alfa Romeo, Bat Boy in the Haas. He's been quick all season. Yori's been ridiculously quick as well. Xavi's been good, but unfortunately he's kind of off the pace compared to his teammate. Virus in the Renault is obviously crazy fast as he now begins his first flying lap. We have Crumpton in the Ferrari, another newcomer who will be replacing SLR today, or MK. They kind of race. I don't know who will be replacing MK because SLR, as we see, is farther down. Your championship winner, Andre. No, not championship winner. Why would I say that? You're definitely not championship winner. Andre Jamil is going to be behind the wheel of a Racing Point today. So that's a new one, new car for him. Pepin is going to be looking for a strong result to jump up the order in the Drivers' Championship. And Alex Bomberg is going to be looking for a decent haul of points to secure P2. Kimi, again, is going to be looking for some solid points to jump up the order. And then we have Wakanda and Indigo. Looks like we have some people finally into the stream, so hello. I did do a quick intro earlier, but not sure if many people were on. This is our season finale. It's our final race of the season. The Drivers' Championship is already decided. It was won by Karem, who I don't think is participating in the race today. As you see, we have Andre behind the wheel of the Racing Point. And the Constructors' Championship is still pretty close. It is yet to be decided. Andre needs to score at least 14 points to secure the Constructors' Championship. As a reserve driver, he's kind of stuck in, kind of out of nowhere. Not a lot of preparation, but he's going to have to do a job here today. Score 15 points, which means he needs to score a podium, actually. Unfortunately, he does not have the help of a teammate today, I believe, which is going to certainly make things interesting. As you see, Virus sets a 133.9, which is immediately bested by Andre with a 133.5. So Andre, obviously a F1 mainstay, very, very quick, so he's going to be looking to score the points necessary for the Racing Point to take the Constructors' Championship. Pit stop says only a point between Xavi and Pepin for P7. Yeah, only a point between them, and then MK and Pepin are tied, although MK, unfortunately, obviously not able to participate in this race, which is very unfortunate, seeing as he had a chance to jump Pepin and Xavi in the standings. But SLR and Crumpton are going to kind of try to do some damage control for the Ferraris, get the best result possible for them. The battle is very grape, yes. That will certainly be an interesting one, and one that I'll keep an eye on. Wakanda set to 134 flat, so less than a tenth off of his teammate. Yoda with a 134.2, almost 2, I suppose. Batboy splits the Renaults with a 133.9, very close to Virus this time, only about 0.05 of a second separate those two. Then we have Nick with a 134.9, and then Yuri is in the 135s with Kimi setting a 136.4, so a lap that Kimi will certainly be looking to improve upon. And Yuri has retired from the session. I don't know if that is a on-track incident. Yes, it does look like it is an on-track incident. As we, who is that? Is that a Ferrari there? It's about to come up to him. Yes, there we go. We should see his car if we look off to the right. I suppose not. Nope, that was the wrong. Was the right Ferrari. I guess I don't know if he's in the pits and retired, or if he's somehow crashed out there. As Crumpton looks to set a flyer, I believe he popped up purple on the mini-map there, but I couldn't really tell. Oh, and it looks like that wasn't the start-finish straight. So yeah, it does look like that. Yuri has crashed out of this section as Crumpton heads through this right hand and then a double left-hander under the Aramco sign. I'm sure Andre is thrilled to see that. Out onto the final two corners. Penultimate corner and now final corner here. This is a nice flowy section, a lot of 90-degree corners. And up to the line comes Crumpton, and it's going to be a 1:33.4, the newcomer, setting a very quick lap that Andre is going to be sure to beat. Virus emerging from the pits. Pretty cool pit lane here in Abu Dhabi. It's a tunnel, the only one of its kind. I think the coolest pit lanes are here, and Monaco has that really nice long pit lane that's kind of detached from the track down by the water there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this battle for pole, because as of now it looks very close. Only just under a second, 0.0, no, not under a second, under a tenth, 0.098 seconds between Crumpton and Andre. The Brazilian is certainly going to look to improve upon this time and hopefully jump Crumpton for P1, but as of now, the new boy in the Ferrari looks rapid. Virus, another guy that's going to try to improve upon his time to get closer to those guys, as will Batboy and Wakanda, as we see Andre emerges onto the track for his second flying lap. Down this big stadium section. I wonder how many people this stadium section can fit, because it certainly looks pretty big. You know, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, they do it big wherever they can. Tallest building in the world is in the UAE, same country I guess, but it's in Dubai. But obviously Dubai and Abu Dhabi are two very wealthy cities. A lot of wealthy people there, and they deal in the most extravagant of things. So anything they do, they make it as big and as extravagant as possible. And this logic also applies to Yas Marina Circuit, one of my personal favorites. I find it very fun to drive, and it's a really flowy circuit. That's very enjoyable. Virus is on his second flying lap here. A little traffic in front. Let's see if he, I don't know if that's Indigo or Alex. I believe that is Alex. Yes, it is, but Renault clears him pretty easily. Batboy coming up behind him as well. And he will also just clear him off to the right side. So good racing from them there. Virus now on the back straight down towards this combo corner. It's kind of easy to imbalance the car through there, take a little too much speed, but these guys are going to deal with that pretty darn easily. Last couple corners here after the third sector, as you see, flat out through this corner and flat out through the next as well, and then you're on right as you finish that turn, you're immediately on the brakes, trying not to lock up the brakes. Double left-hander here, and then out towards the final two corners. Again, this third sector is full of these 90-degree medium speed corners. As you see, he takes third there, extra shift, early shift up into first, and the first driver to break into the 132s is Men's Virus. I wonder if we're going to see some track evolution come into play as Andre opens up the DRS on the continuation of the back straight. I mean, it's two straights back to back. There's no the start-finish straight is not super long here in Abu Dhabi as he heads towards the chicane around the 90-degree left-hander and onto the high-speed entrance of the third sector, again carrying it flat all the way through here, and as you see, he's on the brakes right as he comes around that corner. Again, very flowy through this kind of complex. That big glass building casts a daunting shadow over this third sector. Final two corners here for Andre. Looking at the time. Oh, and it looks like he has a run wide there, which will invalidate his lap. So he just ducks it right into the pits. He will have time for another run, so it's not a big deal. This bad boy doing a little Tokyo Drift action there as he enters the second part of the back straight. I don't know how much that will affect his lap time, but I assume we shall see. He's only 700th back of, I believe that is his personal best. So 700th back of that lap of a 1:33.9. So he's looking, if this holds true and he does run wide through that chicane, lap time is going to be invalidated, and he will likely follow Andre's steps and duck it into the pits. And Karem has joined, so it looks like he will have a chance to hit that 200 point mark as Wakanda sets a 133.3, sending Crumpton down to P3. SLR on an outlap in the Ferrari. He's going to be looking to get a good grid position to set up a points haul to make the Tifosi happy. Obviously, in F1, the Ferrari season has been fantastic, but in F2, there's been pace here and there, but I just think they haven't been super consistent. Both of them kind of mid-table. Let me just check on SLR's point tally. He is on... actually not seeing him for some reason. Yeah, I don't see him here, but his teammate MK is on 52 points, obviously being replaced by Crumpton for today. He's very quick. In terms of the team championship, yeah, Ferrari is in P8, so not able to consistently link together strong performances. The pace obviously not always being there, as Wakanda is going to get this lap time eliminated. I think he might just go for another... No, it does look like he just ducks into the pits. So disappointing for Wakanda to have another lap time invalidated. Renault's looking to have grab a front row lockout and hopefully close the gap to Racing Point in P1. I guess there's not much time to close the gap anymore. They have to pass them, as this is, of course, the final lap race of the season. Andre on his outlap, and Karem on a flying lap that has been validated. So Karem will have time for one more run. I believe I'm not sure if we're going to see Andre set another lap. This may be his final flying lap. Really not sure, but we're going to keep an eye on him and ride along with him through the entirety of that, because he is mega quick around the circuit, obviously. Alex Bomberg on his own flying lap, locking up there into the chicane, entering the second section of the straight. DRS open now. ERS in hot lap mode. Shout out to the VRL sponsor. Heavy braking down into this left, right, left kind of high speed, medium speed, triple chicane. As Andre heads towards the final complex. Looks like some traffic. The Red Bull has to pull off all the way to the left side of the track there, so that was kind of interesting. Final couple of corners here for Alex. Looks like it's going to be quick. Oh, no, it invalidates at the last second. We will ride along with Andre here for the entirety of this lap. He runs it way wide. It's very similar to France, how you're going to be, dipping a tire into way past the curbing. Heavy braking here down to the chicane around up towards the hairpin section. Little wide through there, but he does get his apex, as you see, and now he can open it up on the back straight. DRS is going to be open right about now. These cars absolutely fly down the back straight. You'll see sparks flying in real life, similar to Sakir in Bahrain. Looks like pretty quick through Sector 1. We'll see the split. I guess we already saw the split. Headed towards Sector 2, which pretty much just consists of a straight and a chicane. As you see here, braking just before the 50-meter board. Tucks it in really nicely. He's going to be on the gas as early as possible there, as we see. And then that left-hander can be tricky. The car can kind of get unbalanced here. No personal best in the splits. Might have been a personal best, but no purple on the mini-map as far as I can tell, as he enters this kind of complex section here with all those big buildings in the background. Again, runs it way wide onto the blue. Takes his right-hander very well. A little bit of oversteer here. No lockup in the final corner, which was promising. This looks quick. This looks really quick. And a 132.8 is good enough to best Virus for the moment. as he will head out onto his flying lap shortly. Andre's got to be thrilled with that lap. As you could see throughout that entirety of the lap, he was absolutely flying. So good to see for him. Had a tough he has had a tough season in F1. Results not really going his way, but this is certainly going to be a nice confidence boost for him. As he just pulls off to the side of the track and retires from the session, because he will not have time to get a lap in. And oh, it looks like Virus is not going to have time to get a lap in either. Yeah, it looks like that's kind of going to be it for Virus. Sheesh, I wonder if he just mistimed his pit exit. I mean, he's going to have to, if he manages to cut all the chicanes, yeah, I just don't know if he's going to be able to get a lap in. Looks like we have some battles going on. If we look down to, was that iQuicks and Karem kind of getting into it as they head towards the back straight, and don't want a crash to happen. That would certainly be unfortunate, but it looks like they are kind of racing here. The wag of the steering wheel, maybe in anger, Karem's just gonna cut the corner and not deal with it, but these guys kind of seem to be going at it a bit. I think they're both trying to get to the line to set one more flying lap. And yes, it does look like they're both going to make it, but this could be an interesting development with this traffic here. It goes up the inside, and they do look like they touch. I don't know if there's any damage to either of their car, but it certainly looks like they touched there. And it looks like iQuicks is going to be first out onto the track. Yellow flags there, probably for that incident. Damn, that was, in my opinion, a little too aggressive from iQuicks. Oh, Karem's lucky to not have his lap time deleted. Oh, and he decides to slam it into the wall. So, Karem obviously probably frustrated from iQuicks. iQuicks is also going to have to abort that lap. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him in all honesty. And now, did Virus get... Oh, Virus somehow manages to get onto a lap. I really don't know how that one happened, but I guess he cut the chicanes effectively enough, and it does look like he's going to have a bit of a tow here from Crumpton in front of him. We'll see how that goes, if that's going to help with the tow, or if it's going to just be more traffic for him to deal with, so we shall see. Stein says, what was iQuicks doing? Yeah, in all honesty, I don't really know what was going on between Karem and iQuicks. Obviously, we saw Karem was frustrated as the Ferrari spins. I don't know if that was I don't know if he dumped it under throttle or if Virus gave him a nudge, but that is going to be qualifying over for Crumpton, unfortunately. From my angle, I really couldn't tell if he spun it on his own or if he got hit. It makes sense for him to, not make sense, but it looked like Virus might have just given him a tap in the rear left. And then he, just lost it because he gets nudged around. Wag of the wheel from Virus trying to control that oversteer. Across the line, he's going to... What in the world was that? I don't know if that was oversteer or what that was about, but it looks like Virus could have easily gotten pole position there. Instead, he just decides to drive into the wall. I want to look... Yeah, they might have been joking around. Obviously, we can't hear what the boys are saying, but I'm just looking at the replay of that Virus. Oh, his lap time was invalidated. Okay, I wasn't really looking at that. I was confused because it looked like that he could have easily snagged pole position there. But it will be Andre starting from pole for Racing Point with Renault 2-3 behind him, followed by the newcomer Crumpton and SLR getting into P5. So impressive stuff from the Ferraris. Batboy, Dream Indigo, Nick, Alex, and Brady round out the top 10 with Matt, Kimi, Pepin, Xavi, Yuri, iQuicks, and Karem rounding out the rest of the grid. So it looks like we're going to have some fireworks in the desert. We shall see. as we get ready for our formation lap. As we're just waiting for the boys to load in. A bit of an early start from iQuicks behind. I'm just going to do the formation lap with no HUD. Just because, well, you don't really need it for formation laps. Kind of taking the cinematics. It is a fairly beautiful track. It's Abu Dhabi. As we see all those disqualifications coming in, except they aren't actually disqualifications. So it's a bit of a weird glitch within the game. I wish they fixed it, in all honesty, but you know, can't always get what you want, as the Rolling Stones would tell us. Never mind that, we got a race on our hands. I'm sure this one is going to be pretty exciting. The Renaults are in a good position to kind of try and mount an attack on P1 in the Constructors' Championship, but all Racing Point needs to do is to score 14 points. So, especially with Andre on pole, it looks like it is going to be increasingly difficult for jeez, I can't even speak, for the Renaults to mount an attack on that spot. But there is time for more drama, so we will wait and see how that turns out. One thing that is always, you know, pretty much guaranteed in VRL races is drama. It seems to be a bit of a common thread, whether it be safety cars or anything along those natures, along that kind of thing, you know, big crashes and whatnot. But we will see if that thread continues as we get this race underway. They weren't joking. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. It certainly could have been joking, but it looked like Karem was pretty ticked off. As I think we should be ready to go shortly, maybe. I don't know what we're waiting on. Maybe waiting for guys to kind of load in. Could be that. But if there's one thing we got, it's time. So just gonna sit back, relax, and hopefully get this race underway shortly. I really don't know what's going on, guys. I don't really know if there's anything that I can do. I don't really think it's a problem on my end. Oh no.